Hey guys, J-Funk here, and today I'm going to show you my 5-mass full clear of Orgrimmar that I did recently. This is the first one I've ever done. First off, just getting started here, I'm going to pull all these mobs, and then I'm going to check in this hut on the left over here to see what color potion is in this hut, because whatever color potion is in this hut is the minus 100 sanity one. It's the one I want to avoid. Turns out in this particular run, it's the bad one. It is completely random per run which one it is, but you can tell. There are guaranteed spots that you can tell which one is bad. In this case, in Orgrimmar, it's in that hut over there. And because I know that that one is bad, I know that the green one is the plus 100 sanity one. There are the reason I know this is that there's like these charts going around that will tell you which color lines up with other colors. Additionally, there's a weak aura going around that I'm going to link in the description below that you can just dynamically press which one is bad and it'll just show you which ones are good, and it also will tell you the internal cooldown of Gift of the Titans. It's very good. I would recommend it. I didn't use it in this particular run, but I probably will be using it in the future, as it will make my life a lot easier. And you'll see here, I checked to see if Gammon was up, because Gammon will be up. If Gammon's up, he'll be in that hut on the right. And if you kill Gammon, he'll give you a 10% max HP buff. Now, for most classes, this isn't actually a DPS increase, so usually avoid it. But for Windwalker Monk, it gives you more damage on your TOD and gives you more damage on your Touch of Karma. And in this particular run, I'm using the Ghostly Goulash food, I believe. The 2% max HP healed per second while in a vision food, which is very nice for Windwalker. Windwalker's pretty squishy, so it doesn't have much self-healing, so having the extra self-healing is a godsend for this. It's very nice. But you see, I go kill the blacksmith there because Gammon isn't up, and the blacksmith will give me a 10% damage increase for the remainder of the vision. And then I'm going to go around here and try to clear out the mobs, because I want to go to the right first, and I want to do the drag and the Valley of Honor, I believe, first. The one Rexar is in, I think that's the Valley of Honor. So I'm going to clear these mobs out. Going back to what I'm using for my setup here, I'm using the Purification Protocol Major. This is the first time that I use this in the vision, but I wanted to try it out to see how good it is. Turns out it was pretty good. I'm using the 2 trinkets from the new raid, Nyalotha. I'm using Torment in a Jar and the Writhing Summon Adrestagath at 475. Torment is just a good AoE trinket, and I used the segment because I wanted more burst damage for bosses and mini bosses. I'm using Vision Miner, which is me just again experimenting to see what I liked. I don't know if I'll use Vision Miner again. It didn't seem particularly useful in this case, but I ended up using it. I probably will use Purification Protocol Major again. It did seem pretty useful overall. You get some annihilations. Breath of the Dying Miner, and then Confident Strife Miner as well. But those are pretty standard. I'm going to go into the drag here. I'm going to use all my cooldowns on this guy. I'm going to cool down the Annihilator Lakal. Make sure he dies as fast as possible because he can be quite annoying. I'm going to help Corona, and then I'm going to check this potion here, and then I'm going to go and check the Transmog hut on the right, because there can be a spawn that is up right now where if you use it and kill the guy that spawns from it, he will give you a 10% crit buff for the remainder of the vision, so make sure to get this buff. It helps out a lot. But what you'll notice here is that I am pulling relatively safely, because this is my first 5-mass full clear, and I had some trouble before, and I was just experimenting to see how well I would do. Additionally, in my archive upgrades, I don't have the cheat death unlocked because I made a mistake and didn't get it. So I'm trying to play extra careful to not die, because there's a real chance that I could die to sanity loss out of nowhere and not have any cheat death to save me. So I'm just pulling the packs one at a time, kind of slowly, to make sure that I don't die, because I figure that I do enough damage that I could play a little bit safer. I get the purple liquid here, which is another buff, and then I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna break down the orphanage there. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna pull those mobs over there, and then I'm gonna LOS them in the leatherworking hut and taunt the mini boss guy or Snang into the hut here. And AoE them all down to avoid this touch of the Abyss from the Dominator, so that he has to get close to me to cast it so I can interrupt it. And then I'm going to kill these guys. Now then the next step here is the final boss of this area. Now this boss has a little bit of a trick to him that I found out today that will make him a lot easier for you. Now you can, earlier in the week I tried this trick out, and because it's Scorched Feet And entomophobia, it can be a little tricky because your scorched feet can kind of screw you over. Here I'm going to eat a kebab. The kebab is one of the vision foods that will restore 100 sanity to you after you eat it for 10 seconds on a 3-minute cooldown. I'm actually going to orb this guy here because my run, or earlier runs in the week have ended early because of this guy. So this is what you do. You stand inside this guy's model, right here. You stand inside of his model, and it prevents Void Torrent from hitting you. Now, if you get unlucky and you happen to get a Scorch Feet proc there, you can kind of get screwed over because it'll launch you forward, then he's gonna turn around, then hit you with it, and it's be bad. But I wanted to use an orb there because the orbs do make you immune to the madnesses in the area, so I don't have to deal with those. But it does stink because when you kill an elite like that, it gives you 200 sanity, so I'm wasting like majority of the sanity that I'm getting from killing him. And then coming up pretty soon here is going to be the biggest skip that Orgrimmar has. I would recommend you do this every time if you can survive it. After we kill Misha here, what you're going to do is you're going to mount up, and then you're going to go to the left, and you're going to go outside of the vision's boundaries. And usually when you're outside of the vision's boundaries, it does damage to you, heavy damage to you, but it does not do sanity damage to you. So if you can survive going to the left here and skipping, it's going to help you out a lot. You skip majority of the trash in this area by doing the strategy, and it makes it a lot easier. So I should have popped the defense or dampen harm here before going up here, but I end up being fine. You can just mount up here, walk up the side, use a health potion if you have to. Just don't die. Just play it safe. And then I go Rexar here. I should have killed the bug pack behind me first because I didn't have my cooldowns up, but it ends up being all right. We end up killing Rexar. Just fine. I try to just control the boars as much as I can and AoE them, because the boars will cast Void Quills on you, and Void Quills is a big sanity drain, the constant casting effect. So I interrupt the first one, and then I stun the second cast, and then I'm going to ring this cast, and hopefully by this time all the boars are dead. I use my Writhing Segment Adjust-A-Gaff to make sure that they all die, so that I don't lose a lot of sanity in this area. But other than that, I'm just kind of killing Rexar real quick, and then after I kill Rexar, I'm going to head over to that bug pack and deal with them. And then after that, we're going to take the totem and go all the way back to the start, and then we'll go to the left side. So far, so good. This is probably the hardest part of this vision, is dealing with Rexar. Majority of the rest of the areas are pretty easy. I do get unlucky here. I end up getting knocked back out of the area and then get stunned and almost die. A little bit unfortunate. I should have played that a little bit better. But we end up being fine. So here's the green. There's one of the green vials. I drink the green vial, I gain 100 sanity. And here's another trick that I found during this run. So some of these vials will give you buffs, but when they expire, they have a downside. I found that if you right click off these buffs in the middle of the air, you can negate the downsides, and you also don't lose sanity while in the air. So I'm just negating these downsides of being slowed, of being feared or whatever by just using it in the air. Pretty nice. If you end up having to, if you have like low duration on your buffs, you could do that. If not, don't worry about it, but it's kind of cool. And we're going to go to the Valley of Spirits here. We're going to kill the lesser Void Elementals, and then we'll have to fight the, I believe there's like an Annihilator guy up here. I forget what his name is. Decimator. We'll kill Decimator guy. So this guy has two abilities, Surging Fist and Decimator. So Surging Fist, he'll just face whatever direction you are at, and then cast Surging Fist and then charge at you. Avoid that. Additionally, he will cast Decimator, which you saw there. And what Decimator does is he'll throw out a projectile, and then once it reaches its first obstacle, it will return to him. And it does damage based on both going towards him and coming back to him. So you want to try to face him as far away from a wall or an obstacle as possible, so it doesn't instantly return to you and one bang you. Just avoid his frontals is the lesson here. Okay, so then we're in the Valley of Wisdom. So for the Valley of Wisdom, I'm trying to play around my internal cooldown of Gift of the Titans. I want to have Gift of the Titans going into this Hulk guy, because the Hulk guy has a lot of guaranteed sanity loss. I think it's about 60 to 75 sanity loss when he tosses you, and you can't avoid this. But Gift of the Titans buff reduces the sanity loss by 100% from everything. So you want to have a proc going into this. So I'm trying to I don't have the weak ore here, which I should have had, which is linked down below, but it would have told me when it can proc. So at this point, I'm just trying to clear trash until that procs, and then I'm going to pull the Hulk out immediately and try to kill him before my Gift of the Titans wears off, to prevent a lot of sanity loss in this area, because it's like the biggest sanity loss in this area, and maybe in this vision entirely, that's guaranteed, is the Hulk guy. And in this area, though, I do have to worry about Leaden Foot. You can dispel Leaden Foot with Tiger's Lust now, which is nice. But it is kind of annoying to deal with. And you can roll, and at one point during this, I end up almost dying. So I get a Gift of the Titans proc here, and I don't notice it, and then I pull these guys, but then I do notice it, and I pull the Hulk guy immediately. And I just do as much damage to him as possible, trying to move out of that fear thing. And I'm trying to kill him. I TOD him. I just use all my cooldowns. I almost die here. It's very scary. I'm standing a lot of things. I'm slowed by Leaden Foot. My Eye of Corruption is killing me. I use all my defensives, use a health pot, and I end up being fine. But it is pretty scary for a little bit. But that is probably the scariest part of this particular area down. At this point, we're just going to go and kill the ooze mini boss over in the corner. I do find a green liquid over here in the corner that gives me 100 sanity. So I already have gained like 200 sanity from just the potions. The vials can be very impactful on your run to help out. So I'm going to go over here, use my water walking on my mount to just pull all these guys and the coagulated horror, and just AoE them all down at the same time. And then at that point, we'll be done with this area, and we can move on to the boss, where I will be using my second orb. I use my second orb on that boss just to be safe. Again, I just want to be safe. Without cheat death, these areas can be kind of scary. Now this guy actually ended up being a lot scarier than I thought he would be. Usually he's not too bad because you just avoid the circles on the ground that he casts, but with Leaden Foot, it can be kind of tricky. He can be slowed a lot, and it can kind of suck. We're gonna kill these 3 Kathir mobs, and then the mini boss is gonna the boss of this area will spawn, and we'll just go kill him real quick. I was contemplating not using an orb here, but I wanted to play it safe because this is my first 5-mass run. I didn't want to screw it up, so I ended up just using an orb to be safe. I probably didn't need to use one here, if I'm being honest. Probably could have been fine, but I have died here and lost sanity in weird ways that I would rather not go into, and so I just played safe, use the orb, and we're good to go. Like I mainly use the orb here because I feel like I'm very far ahead, because all I have left is the Valley of Spirits, and the Valley of Spirits is probably one of the easier areas to deal with overall. So we kill that guy, no problem, and then we head out, go to the Valley of Spirits. The Valley of Spirits for me, again, a little bit sloppy. I do play a little bit sloppy, but I think this goes to show that you can do a 5-mass full clear even if you play a little bit sloppy. And you play a little bit sloppy, and you get a little bit lucky, but if you know how to use the vials, and you have all the upgrades, and you are vastly overgeared like me, you can accomplish this. But we're going to kill these guys here. There can be a witch doctor that could spawn in the corner here, but she isn't up for this one. And if you kill her, which can be kind of tricky, because ideally you want to kill her before she hexes you, because that can cause all sorts of problems. And it's like an instant cast hex. You can't really deal with it otherwise. It can be kind of annoying. But she can be worth it to kill. She'll give you, I believe it's a 10% haste and 10% movement speed buff if you kill her for the remainder of the vision, which can be pretty nice. Now, I end up avoiding a lot of these chests and vials. At this point, I'm just trying to finish the vision. I don't really care about mementos so much. I'm just trying to finish the vision and not screw up, because I've had some trouble for some reason finishing these visions. Nerves and all that. But we're going to kill these guys. I end up pulling the trash here by accident, but it's fine. We use our Purification Protocol Major, get some annihilations, get some damage bonus, get some stun. Very good. And then we're going to go to the boss here, the Oblivion Elemental, and this boss was not well executed by me either. It was pretty sloppy. I ended up getting hit by a wave or two, I think, in this fight, which could have been avoided. But I am still pretty far ahead. I'm not really in super amounts of danger. Unfortunately, I get an Eye of Corruption proc here, and I just use my cloak so I can use the totem to progress. I think there's like a vial over here somewhere that I end up getting, which is pretty nice. But this guy, the Oblivion Elemental, I'm just trying to use all my cooldowns on him and kill him as fast as possible, because I have no way to avoid hopelessness like other classes do, like DKs and DHs. But I do have a lot of burst damage that can just ruin this guy's day. So you see here, I'm like, I'm like all flustered trying to get to my ore before the thing wears out. And then all of a sudden a wave is behind me and I can't see it. That's my camera. And oh man, tragedy. And because I get knocked back, I pull this pack. I could have played this a lot better, but it just goes to show how easy this can be and how much room for error that there is. Especially now with the cloak upgrade. I'm rank 12 cloak in this video, and then next week you're getting another cloak upgrade, which will make it even easier. I believe it goes up to 85% or something sanity resistance, which is going to make it even easier. So here I take a break. I eat my kebab. Now I do make a mistake here. I should have taken my time and just looted the chests that I had looted in this zone, because I had a lot of time left. I had 1 orb and 300 sanity, but instead I just sit and wait for my cooldowns to come up for Thrall, and then I'm going to lust and use all my cooldowns and try to burst Thrall down as quickly as possible. As at this point, I'm just trying to finish the vision and be successful, and I don't really care if I get more mementos, but I could have gotten more mementos here. So here's Thrall. Thrall has all the boss abilities, as we call all the bosses. A little bit scary, but if you use an orb on Thrall here, the boars aren't too scary. You can mostly just tank through all of the damage and sanity loss that's happening. So I'm going to click my drum. I'm going to taunt Thrall, get him over to me quick, and then I'm going to use all my cooldowns and just kill him as fast as possible. I do get hit by Defiled Ground and all these Void Coils, but again, doesn't really matter. We had an orb. Got our safety orb. All the sanity that we lost there was restored, and now it's just the Thrall fight. Pretty straightforward. Just try to bait. I don't do a good job here, but try to minimize movement and try to bait the Defiled Grounds in good spots, but again, I don't do a good job. The Cries of the Void, I don't believe I end up breaking this circle, or this shield, sorry. It's not a huge deal. It's a little bit of a sanity loss, like 70-ish, but it's not the end of the world if it goes off. Just make sure to move out of Surging Darkness, avoid the frontal so you don't get stunned, and then he's going to cast Hopelessness. Just go get your orb. Pretty straightforward. And that's pretty much it, man. That was the... we ended up doing it. It's a little bit scary. My sanity does get a little bit low, kind of, but overall pretty easy. And this will get even easier the more upgrades that I get and the more cloak upgrades you get. I hope this video helps. Hope this video helped you out a little bit. I do plan on doing a 5-mass full clear of Stormwind next week when it comes active. I'll be doing my darndest to get that as well, so I can get my title. But I just wanted to show. I wanted to show here at the very end why you should do a 5-mass full clear. You should do at least one 5-mass full clear every week, because the base loot from the 5-mass full clear once per week is 470, which is huge. That is a huge piece to get, and it can roll sockets and corruption. It's very good to go for here. So I'm just gonna show off what loot I got. While I do, I'll say if you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave them below. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe for more content. And yeah, there it is. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great one.